Welcome to the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang New Music Files. We've been expecting you. I'm your host, Uncle Agent 0013 Dead Air Dave, and in each episode we crack open the dossier on the latest release by an artist. In this episode, we're going to open the files on the latest release from the Wombats, and Tord is here with us today, generally living in Norway, but currently we find you in Australia.
Yeah, we got here a few, I say a few days ago. It's nearly a week now. But we're down here doing like a tour, some festivals and some headline shows.
Right.
And it's nice. I was just telling you before that I was leaving Oslo in trekking through snow, and now I'm finding myself in Melbourne in the summertime, and it's sunny and warm outside.
Leave those galoshes back home. You don't need them to trek through the snow.
Yeah, no, it's a good time of the year to leave Norway. I find November very very hard. It's dark and it's cold, so it was good timing for this tour.
Yeah, the Australia coast, not a bad time to go. Speaking of the Australia coast, you guys have had quite a year, 2022. The year started off with the release of your fifth studio album, and Fix Yourself, Not the World. It hit #1 on the UK charts for you guys.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, right. And that was your first #1 in the UK, right?
Yeah, that was the first one. We reached #3. Maybe did we reach #2? No, at least 3. I think we've done before, but we never had the #1, so it was kind of like fifth time lucky.
Right. Congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you.
The video was really fun also for This Car Drives All By Itself. Like I said, it's been an incredible year, 2022, for you guys, because from that you've been on an extensive world tour.
Yeah, it hasn't really stopped, to be honest. It's been pretty full on.
And now it finds you in Australia. What have been some of the highlights of the tour? What have been some of the best parts?
I mean, I would say the first part of the touring was in the US, and that was the kind of we've been like locked in for 2 years, and that was the first moment that we kind of like, okay, we're in the room with a lot of people here now, and this is amazing. So I would say that was a very special tour, the first US tour that we did, for sure, because it was like all kind of just getting back to it, and then everything else is kind of like we've done a few venues in the UK we haven't done before. We did the O2. I would say that was a highlight. It's a big it's a big venue, and it's a bit of a pinnacle to get to play there, and had my family come over from Norway and stuff, so that was definitely another highlight. And next week next week or in 2 weeks time we're doing the Opera House in Sydney. So that's going to be another highlight.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, so iconic. Everybody knows that Opera House, and to get to play that is certainly a great notch on your belt. Congratulations on that as well. So, it seems like it's been an amazing tour for you in so many different ways, like you mentioned, after being in lockdown for a couple of years with COVID.
Yeah, no, it's of course like super humbling. Obviously, you don't know when it goes, 2 years go by, and you kind of like, will people still be there, still remember? Will they still, want to come back and see us? And that has been the case. It's been better than ever, really. So, I mean, we're very fortunate to be in that position.
Yeah, like the old saying goes, right? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. But in music, you often wonder if absence makes people just sort of forget, like you're saying. But no, absolutely, they're not forgetting the Wombats. So,
that's good.
So it's fantastic. This has been such a great tour with such a great response for you. And then, again, this year has just been nonstop for you guys. You start off the year hitting #1 on the UK charts with your album. You're endlessly on tour around the world. And in the midst of all that, you find time to put out an EP. It came out in October.
That's right.
Or no, actually came out in November, right? November 18th.
I think it was different dates in different parts of the world, but something like that.
Well, I think in the US, I think we got it on November 18th.
Okay. Cool.
And Is This What It Feels Like to Feel Like This? I understand that you guys actually did co-producing. The band did their own producing on this record.
Yeah, we do. We're pretty hands-on when it comes to, I guess a lot of it stems from the years that we've been working with, big producers in big studios. And yeah, I really find it interesting with how to achieve a certain sound, or, how to record things and how to do that as good as you can. And I spent, you know, like my office is the studio. When I'm not touring, I'm in the studio every day, you
Right.
know, like trying to record or trying to like mix, or, you know, like I'm super into all that side of things. So yeah, so when we work in the studio, we work with Mark Crew that we worked with on Fix Yourself Not the World as
Okay.
well. He also did the EP, and yeah, he's very like super cool with us kind of getting involved on that side. Sometimes the demos can be quite like developed, and there can be like some quite unique sounds already. For that reason, that we're really into, you know, the recording side of stuff. So yeah, sometimes we end up keeping things, you know, and sometimes we, you
Sometimes.
know, like, or sometimes like we'll add stuff after and send it over, you know, or whatever. But again, this EP was recorded when we recorded the album, actually. Not
Yeah.
to, you know, ruin the illusion that we have, you know, been super busy and kind of made and recorded this in between. We didn't do that. It was made before we started touring.
Before you
So
guys hit the road, yeah.
yeah,
So it wasn't an on the road sort of thing. But in your co-production sort of situation, because all the members of the Wombats are sort of spread out between
yeah.
you, Murph, Dan. So was it like a round robin sort of thing, as you mentioned? Like you would take some audio files to your home studio in Norway, work on them, and then send them to the other guys, and then they add to it? Or did you select certain songs and say, well, I'll produce this one and you produce that one, that sort of thing?
Yeah, no, it's very different from track to track. We got like several ways of working when we make a song, or when we produce it, or, you know, like it could be like, you know, a backing track that was, you know, then Murph was trying and, you know, make a top line over it or whatever. Sometimes he'll bring in a finished song, you know, and
Okay.
we work on in the studio and replace the parts, or trying to make new parts and rearrange maybe a little bit. All the time, like, and this is probably my favorite way of working, is when we all three of us meet up and we start from scratch. We got nothing, you know, like
Right.
literally not even like a riff or anything, and it's like, okay, let's make something. And I think that's a really cool and super organic and fun way of working, because you have
Right.
no idea where you end up that
Right.
day, you know. And, you know, at the end of the day, you got a song, and it's like, you know, it could be anything. And that's the way we worked on, for example, Ready for the High. It was one of those
Okay.
songs where it's like, you know, we started the day, Dan just started playing the riff. I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And then, you know, developed the track. And at the end of the day, the song was more or less finished. We only had one verse, I think. But, you know,
And then,
literally just a day, and then, you know, we have a song.
so yeah, I mean, it's something very tactile about all three of you being in a studio together and taking that
Yeah.
journey together, as opposed to being spread out and doing it piece by piece and emailing it
Yeah.
around to each other, right?
Yeah, because we were kind of lucky in that sense that we managed to get a few trips to LA,
Right.
because Murph's got a studio in his house. He's got his basement area where we can record and work on stuff. So we managed to get over there 3 times. You know, so a batch of, you know, let's say it was 9 to 10 days each time
Okay.
to work on this album. Then obviously the pandemic hit, and then we had to do stuff via Zoom.
Right.
Murph did a lot by himself, you know, when sending it over. We kind of, oh, yeah, I like that, you know, oh, maybe not, you know, and then kind of work that way. But that made it obviously a lot harder. But at least we had the foundation of both the record and the EP kind of prior. So that was a massive, you know, help for sure.
When you're in a situation where you're not all in the room together and you guys are building a song separately, remotely, when it comes time to prepare for the tour, now you have to prepare to play that song together live. Is that a whole process in itself?
Yeah, no, so it's we always, like, you know, wherever the tour starts, we, you know, we will maybe meet in that city. I think it was Washington on the last tour, and we meet there a few days before, you know, like maybe hire a rehearsal room, or it could be a venue, you know, like a small venue or whatever. So the front of house guy can, you know, get his head around what's going on, and then just tweak, rehearse, kind of like get that ready just before, really. Obviously, like we need to spend a little bit of time individually as well, rehearsing, getting the parts into our, you know, into our fingers and minds. So that's the kind of way we do it. I think a lot of band probably, I mean, if the band's spread out, that's the only way you can do it, really.
Right.
I suppose.
Right. And then you're all familiar with those songs, the way you built them. and then you get together to rehearse them in preparation for the tour. I'm going to imagine that they also take on another life of their own while you're playing them live and rehearsing them together. Do they ever meander into something very different from the recorded version?
Almost the first of all, like hearing the track, but in a live context with the energy of, you know, like live drums, you know, like everything live, you know, that with the adrenaline that comes with it and stuff. Obviously that's mind blowing, the first few gigs or whatever, and it's always really good fun. Yeah, and then obviously then seeing these songs meaning something to people, you know,
sure,
that's always
absolutely
mind blowing. That blows my mind once we, like, you know, start playing a completely new song live and people start like singing it back at you, knowing all the lyrics. That's something I never get fully used to, you know. I think that's just that blows my mind every time.
Yeah, you're playing live at a venue and your audience is giving the song right back to you, and that energy has got to be amazing on stage.
Yeah, then it's not our song anymore, you know, then it's like everyone else's song as well. And yeah, that feeling it's great.
That's an amazing way of looking at it, right? It once you put it out there and you give it to your fans, it's not just your song anymore. It becomes their song. That is one of the beautiful things about music, for sure. And speaking of the beautiful thing of music, let's share a little bit of that right now. How about if we play a little bit for everybody, the title track to Is This What It Feels Like to Feel Like This, the new EP from the Wombats, right here on the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang New Music Files. Taste of the title track from the new EP by the Wombats, Is This What It Feels Like to Feel Like This, on the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang New Music Files, where Tord is joining us from the Wombats, bass player extraordinaire, and of course, one of the key members of the band. And joining us now, as we like to do on the podcast, we bring in a radio element, and over there at WWCD in Columbus, Ohio, we find a huge Wombat fan base, and joining us now is the music director, Tom Butler. Tom, how's it going?
Hey, Dave. What's going on, buddy? Thanks for having me. Hey, Tord.
Hiya. How's it going?
Always good to see you, Tom. I've missed you at South by Southwest for the last few years, so it's good to catch you today.
Yeah, it's good to see your face.
Well, thanks for saying so. Not too many people feel that way.
Yeah, I get that. I get the same thing.
But do tell us a little bit about how WWCD stumbled into the music of the Wombats and that whole process about how you embraced the band and have delivered their music to the greater Columbus area.
It would have been when Let's Dance to Joy Division was the single. And it's just one of those songs that to me, you know, was really emblematic of what the Wombats do. Like, it's funny, but it's sincere and it's heartfelt, and there's emotions in there where, you know, you can listen to it and you can smile, or you can listen to it and go, oh God, I feel exactly like that. And I think that's a unique thing. I feel like, you know, so many people go on one side of the just sad, kind of miserable, here's a song, everything's terrible. Or people do like sort of, you know, something that's just super goofy and just not really sincere. So I think that was a thing I latched onto right away. And I know that like the majority of the singles we've gotten on, just, you know, they do so well on the air. The songs sound great. The guys always are kind enough to come in and play in the big room when they're in town. And yeah, I mean, it just seems like Columbus really loves the Wombats.
Well, thank you for your kind words.
I'm going to go so far as to say, and the Wombats love Columbus.
Yeah, it's always been a good place for us. We some of the sessions we done with you guys as well have been really really interesting. Yeah, not to mention which one, but
And when you do those sessions, you bring in an invited number of listeners.
Yeah, basically we do, so many on-air winners, and then we have sort of a listener appreciation program called the Lounge, where you gain lounge points by doing certain things, and then you can essentially trade your lounge points for big room passes, the sessions. So and the Wombats ones are always full. There's somewhere it's a bit of a struggle, not with the Wombats, but with some other bands where people just don't care, they don't want to come in, but and then you have other ones that are people lined up outside. So
right.
Yeah. No, and I'm always so happy to see you guys. Like it's always a good time.
It is a great time with the Wombats. I've caught them a couple of times live, and the energy from the stage, as you were mentioning earlier, Tord, it's not just about the songs, but it's really about that give and take between the band and the audience.
Yeah, I think you touched upon something there, like the whole, the sort of juxtaposition with the lyrics can be quite dark and so, but it's not sad songs. It's like the songs are happy, you can dance to them, it puts you in a good mood. And I think like the whole, maybe one of the reasons we still do this, and it's still kind of like that people come to the shows, is that it is a good party. Like we like having a good time.
And you're right though about the content of the lyrics compared to the musical compositions. Even on the latest EP, the title track, "Is This What It Feels Like to Feel Like This," could really be a daunting psychological, reflection. But the song is so uplifting musically.
Yeah, exactly.
That it definitely catches you off guard and draws you in to sort of explore those lyrics. So
I think you're right, for sure.
Certainly, you guys know how to twist a good phrase when it comes to titling a song.
And some long titles on this EP as well. Another one, I think my mind has made its mind up. So there's all this kind of like, the titles keeps getting longer,
And speaking of the EP and the music, let's dive in for another taste. Tord, is there a particular song you'd like for everybody listening?
Well, I just mentioned, I think my mind has made its mind up. So I think that will be that was the cue to maybe to go for that one.
I like the way you worked that in perfectly. Here it is on the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang New Music Files with the Wombats. My mind has made its mind up. Again, another incredible twist of phrase and title from the Wombats. And that's what we just heard a taste of on the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang New Music Files. I'm Dead Air Dave, along with music director from WWCD in Columbus, Ohio, Tom Butler, and Tord from the Wombats, coming to us by way of Australia right now. Hail, hail, the gang's all here from all over the place. The magic of technology.
It is pretty incredible, isn't it?
If it wasn't for that, we certainly wouldn't get to have this meeting today, and I appreciate both of you for joining us today on the Files. As we wrap it up, Tord, we talked about what an incredible year it's been for you guys, and we're moving into the final month of 2022. Yeah. Any last highlights you'd like to touch on for us?
I mean, we got this Australian run. That's what we're on at the moment. But we next year we're going to India for the first time. So I'm really excited. I've never been to India, and it's Lollapalooza doing another festival in India, in Mumbai. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to stay for a few extra days as well, just to kind of like have a little, look around and get a little feel for India.
The world tour of 2022 is not ending with 2022. There's still plenty more happening next year for the Wombats.
Yeah, there is some potential talks about some some other gigs as well, but then it's not confirmed yet.
All right.
But we might be coming your way.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say that. That was the next question I was going to ask, because I would love to see you
but
guys
it's not
soon.
confirmed and it's not decided yet, but we are working on it at the moment. So hopefully.
Perfect. I'll keep my fingers crossed as well.
Oh man, just I love to see the Wombats doing well. The music is great, the songs are great, and that, you know, you guys are all such good dudes. So I just encourage everybody to go see the live show. It's a ton of fun.
And if they make it back to the U.S. next year, Tom, hopefully another big room session with you guys.
Definitely.
Can't wait.
Perfect. The album is out, certainly. The EP is out, and the Wombats are on the road. So look for them wherever you are, and grab some music. It's a great time listening at home and seeing them live in front of your naked, steaming eyes and ears. So again, I want to say thanks so much, Tord, from the Wombats, for joining us, and Tom.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been great.
It has been a wonderful time visiting with you guys right here on the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang New Music Files. I'm your host, Dead Air Dave, and I'll catch you next time with more inside info about new music being made on the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang New Music Files, powered by Osiris Media. Our theme song is written and performed by Los Angeles band Love Ghost. All right, Tom, I'll let you get back to the radio show.
All right.
Good luck.
Yeah, quick.
Good to see you.
That song's ending.
Yeah.
Tord, thanks so much, man. Enjoy
Nice
Australia.
one, guys.
All right.
Great to see you.